So welcome, guys. Nadine, Sophie, Sydney, Tegan, and everyone else that's here. We're going to go in have a little bit of a workshop about short corners, and we're going to come up with some short corners that you guys could possibly be using soon in hopefully when you get back onto the field and into games. But what we're going to do is put ourselves in a scenario where we are playing a game, and you are going to come up with your first three short corners. Okay, so your first three short corners of the game. And we're just going to talk through it, and let's go. So I'm going to share my screen quickly and just make sure you guys can see it. Okay, if you guys want to unmute yourselves, you're more than welcome to. There's not many people here, so we can all just discuss it. All right, so I'm going to put out the players very quickly. We've got the sea to sky blue, which is awesome. Not quite the blue, but it's close. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to do is you guys are going to position. Let's pick Nadine. Do you have access? Do you have a mouse pad or a touchpad or a mouse, something that you can control the screen with?
Yeah, I don't have a mouse, but I have like a touchpad.
Okay, that's perfect. All right, so I've actually given you control of my screen right now. So you can manipulate these players however you want to. So if you click and drag a player, you can pull a player onto the pitch, or you can click the players that are already on the pitch and just move them around. Okay. So you've got, at the moment, we've got, obviously, that you don't need to worry about the pusher because she'll always be there. We've got the stopper. So where I would like you to push, and please, Sydney and whoever else is in here, Tegan, you guys can, and Sophie, sorry, you guys can chip in. Where would you like the stopper to be?
This person?
Yes, that person.
I would say.
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Maybe like here.
Okay. And close to the top of the circle.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and
a bit to the left of the goal.
Just okay, perfect. So quite close to each other. Okay, and that is going to be the person hitting the ball at goal, or one of the people hitting the ball. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you, Sydney, Tegan, do you guys agree with that? Do you have any comments?
I agree with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, that's very cool. I also would agree with it. So just as a rule of thumb for starting out the short corner, sorry, I'm going to take control again there, Nadine. We like to make sure that our stoppers are within. Sorry, I'm just going to. Yeah. Okay, that our stoppers are within. Let's use that color. Within the post lines. Okay, so if I drew a straight line out and a straight line out, okay, that we are within that zone. Okay. Some teams like to have two I call them castles. I'm not sure what you guys call them. What do you call where the stopper is? The stopper and the pusher. Stopper and the hitter. What do you just call it something? Nadine?
Sorry, what was the question?
So that the players at the top of the D, the stopper and the hitter, what do you call that collective?
Just usually stopper and hitter, I guess.
Okay, right. So we call it as I call it a castle. Okay, I don't know why, but we call it castle. So we either say that there's one or two castles. Okay, and then where the position of the castle is. All right. So this, for example, the castle would be just inside the right post, okay, or our left post. And can anyone give me a reason why I would say keep it inside that post, inside the posts?
Maybe so that the hitter has a better angle on the goal.
Okay, 100%. All right, so the angle of the hitter is a lot better, and they're able to sort of choose an angle direction a lot easier, so they can either hit it straight towards the bottom left corner, or they can angle it towards the bottom right corner. But if they change that position, the angle that is going towards that post now becomes very difficult, okay, and a lot easier for a goalkeeper to pick up. If it's a little bit of a longer distance as well. Okay, so if it is from the straight, see, if it is from the top of the D, okay, you can see that it's sort of a bit shorter, all right, and it's a better angle. All right, so we've got our castle just over there. Oopsie, swap that around again. Okay, and we've got our, now where is, okay, so our first short corner, we have got the goalkeeper in the goal. Okay, where is our first short corner going to go? Where do you want it to go to, guys? Sydney, if you're there, let's see what your answer is. Where would you like the first short corner to go?
Usually for our first short corner, we inject the ball to the hitter, and she just takes a straight shot at the net.
Okay, perfect. So we're going there, and let's get a little bit more specific. Do we want to go bottom left, bottom right? Because remember, if you're hitting, obviously it has to hit the backboard, and that's the rule. So where do we want to go? Do we want to go bottom left or bottom right?
Probably bottom right.
Bottom right. Okay, so we say we want to go that side, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to clarify, this would be the keeper's glove side, okay? And the other side is the keeper's stick side, just so that it's not confusing for anyone. Glove side is obviously our right, the keeper's left, and stick side is the other side. All right, so I'm happy with that. Let's see, is it Tegan? Why would we want to go for a straight hit for the first short corner and not a variation like a slip left or a slip right? Why do you think we would want to go for a slip?
Maybe so you could like see how the goalie like reacts to like a straight on hit or something, to see how they would like handle it, so you know how to like handle the next few shots.
Okay, and are you only looking at the goalkeeper, or are you looking at other players as well?
You could also be looking at like the other players on what they do for a straight shot.
Okay, very good. Yeah, so the best or the main reason why most people or most teams will start off with either a straight shot or a drag flick as their first short corner is because you're not too sure how they're going to run out. So if you guys remember from last week's webinar, they spoke about a 2-2 and a 3-1. Okay, so a 2-2 would look something like this. I'm going to move this over quickly. Would look something like that, where you have two players running out from the top of the circle. Okay, the one player is running out from the keeper's stick side towards the top of the circle. The second player is running from the keeper's glove side and would normally stop just outside. Okay, we can also, this player could hold a little bit back. If you remember, that was called a box. Okay, they could, if you could be running a box, and so I want to move that, not the goals, that one, there we go. Could be running a box, but normally that runner will go all the way. Okay, so if we had to just take, because this was what the girls said they wanted to do, they wanted to run a 2-2. If we just took our short corner quickly that we are going to, that you've chosen, and I'm going to put it over this one. So we had the injector passing to the top of the circle, which was just inside the post. Okay. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can control it. It was just inside the post. All right, and that the shot was going to try go bottom right, okay, from the top. Okay, so The option to go right was probably a good one, okay, because it's going past the defender's left, the defender, the first runner's left foot. Okay, now I'm sure you guys know it's quite difficult to stop a ball that's coming at your left foot, okay, because you have to get your stick outside of your body. And it's obviously difficult while you're sprinting. Our second wave, however, is probably holding a good line. If they are not too high, so if they're too high, they won't be able to cut that pass. But if they are in a good position, they might be able to intercept that pass. And then we have our postman. Okay, so if our postman is doing their job, their stick is on the ground. Okay, and they're not. They obviously are able to stop the ball. The shot should be saved. Okay, now so that was your first short corner. Now you play and you get a second short corner. How do we want to run the next short corner? Sorry, I'm just. Okay, so we've had this one. We're going to clone that. All right. The second one, the second short corner. So now the first one, they ran as a 2-2. So they had that run. Sorry, they've had this run. They ran a 2-2. You now have to play a second short corner. What is your decision? Nadine, let's go back to you. Would you change the short corner? Would you go for a similar short corner? Maybe just change the position where the shot goes? What would you look to do?
I would maybe place the stopper and the hitter a bit to the right of the goal instead.
Okay.
Because it looks like you could get an angle in between the two people, the front people, or the top runners.
Very good, very good. And then where do you want the shot to go?
Maybe to the left side.
Bottom left.
Bottom left.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, good. So you have said that that they would now. We made a decision. Okay, we've won another short corner. We think, okay, they are going to, if they're running the same, we're going to shift our castle over slightly. I wouldn't say go too much. I would say, like you've said, maybe just a little bit around P spot. So you basically right at the top of the circle. And now you're going to have the shot. The nice thing about this, like you said, okay, if I went here and I shifted it, okay, so we said that our castle would now shift to, oopsie, the push would go to the top of the circle, okay, and the shot we're going to hopefully get to, those are the goals. Our shot is going to go bottom left. Okay, so now this is very cool because if we had our goalkeeper in the position, sorry, they're going to swap if I'm not careful. Okay, the goalkeeper is in the goals in the middle. Okay, because they're running a 2-2, so the goalkeeper will probably be in the middle. This shot is now it's a good shot. I think it's a very good opportunity. And the chances are of us probably going to score this one. Okay, so I'd say the first one we got that was saved. Second short corner, we got a goal. Okay. Tegan, do you agree with where that stopper was, or would you maybe place it somewhere else for the short corner?
I think I agree where the stopper was.
Okay, I do agree as well. Obviously, the only factors we need to be careful of this one is the push is slightly further. Okay, so the push still has to be very good. Okay, and the hit has to be obviously go in the right direction. Those are the only factors you need to worry about. All right, now we are going to go to the third short corner. Okay, so now you've got one saved, one goal. Okay, 50-50 in terms of goal conversion, which is pretty good. Third short corner. Sydney, what's your option? What are we doing?
We'd probably make like a passing combination to someone.
Okay, that sounds cool. All right, so we now bring in our other players. Okay, where do we want those players to be, and what do we want to do with them? Okay, so Sydney, I'm going to pull the players onto the pitch quickly. How many players do you normally have in your short corner? Would it be, do you have 2 runners or 1 runner from this side, from the right hand side?
We usually have 2.
2 runners, okay. And on the left hand side, how many do you have 1 or 2 people on this side?
I'm pretty sure it's just 1.
Now, normally it's 1, and some teams do change. Okay, right, so we've got the third short corner. Sydney, where do you want the castle to go? The stopper and the hitter, are you happy with them where they are now? Would you shift them anywhere? What would you do?
I'm happy with they are now, but if we were going to make a pass to the right side, then the stopper would probably have to move out of the way so the ball can get there.
Yep, 100%. They can do that. Okay, so we want to pass the ball to the right hand side. Nadine, or it is Sophie? Hey, Sophie, if you're there, do you agree?
I agree. Or the stopper could stop it, and the hitter could pass to the left side. But other than that, yeah, I agree.
So it's a pity you guys can't ching chong cha. Otherwise, it'll make you go. Do you want to go right or do you want to go left?
We can go right. Yeah.
Let's go right. All right. So we're going to go right. Okay. So now, are we going to go to the first person or the second person? Maybe I can give Sydney. I'm going to give you control, and you're going to just drag this player. Sorry, I'm going to quickly do this. You can drag this player to where you want them to receive the ball, or if you're happy with where they are, you can just tell me. Just inside. Okay. Nadine, are you happy with that player there? Do you think that's a good spot? But more, but less. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm also happy with that. All right, so we've got this player. So we are looking that, okay, so this player is going to receive the ball from the top of the circle. Okay, so the pass will, however it gets stopped, so either the stopper stops it and the hitter passes it, or however it gets there, let's just assume it gets to that player. What is the role of this player now? What do we want them to do? Do we want them to have a shot at goal? If they are having a shot at goal, where do they want to go?
Maybe they could shoot to the left bottom corner.
Bottom left. Okay, which would be keeper's stick side, hey? Let me change this quickly. I'm going to change it to a shoot arrow. Okay, so we're going to say they're going to go bottom left, like that, in that direction. Is that correct? Tegan, you happy with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sydney, you happy with that? Nadine?
I would say it depends on where the defenders are. Because if one of the runners is in that lane, then you'd probably shoot to the short side.
Okay, so that's also a good answer. So you're going to say, depending on where the runner is, you're going to allow this player to give a bit of freedom and have freedom to shoot where they want to. Then you're going to go left or right. Would you be happy with that?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, left or right. That sounds good. Just to fill in our other runners, what position, where do you want this player to go?
Probably like close to the post for a rebound.
Okay, so I'm just going to draw a dotted line. Would you say that area over there, or closer to the post, or over there? Just say when, or around here.
I think maybe outside the right post a little bit.
Outside the right post, closer towards the baseline, or further in sort of towards the top of the circle?
maybe a little bit closer, but sort of in the middle.
Over there?
Or a little bit closer, maybe.
Over here?
Oh, sorry, further, like closer to the net.
Close to the net. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, cool. This player, what is their job now? Where do you want them to go? Or they can stay? Tegan
Maybe
or Nadine? Yeah. Go for it,
they
Nadine.
can go in for a rebound, but not all the way to the post, but just go a little bit closer in.
Okay, so just a little bit in, good. Okay, I like that. I like the word rebound is very good. Okay, and of course injector. What is the role of the injector, the pusher?
To move to the post.
Okay, towards the post. Very good. Okay. Okay, so that's the third short corner that we're going to do. All right, so we now have a bit of a thing because the defensive team decided instead of running a 2-2, because it didn't work, the second short corner, the 2-2, they ran a 3-1. Okay, and I'm using the same short corner that the last group put together. So the last group said that the defense would run a 3-1. Okay, so I'm going to put these players down quickly. 3-1, their first wave, okay, would be running from the keeper's. I'm going to just take these lines away so it doesn't get too confusing. Okay, from the keeper's glove side, okay, and obviously because it's 3-1, the keeper's going to shift slightly because I'm not going to put them too close. If you can imagine, that's where you're starting from, okay. The player's running out with their foot just over the P spot, running towards the top D, okay. Our second wave, okay, our second runner is also running from the glove side, just next to the first runner, and they are going to be stopping just above P spot or in line with P spot, okay. We then have our postman, okay, which is also on the keeper's glove side, coming just off the line, okay. And we have our third wave. Where are you? Coming just outside, looking to protect, okay, facing inward. Now, this is also very important. Facing inward to look for any rebound or any pass that could possibly come to the injector or the pusher. Okay, so this was what they decided to run as their third short corner. Do you guys think, as an attacking team, would this have been scored or saved?
Probably saved.
Okay, probably say why, Sydney? Who would get there?
The second runner would probably get in the way of the shooter.
Okay, second runner. All right. Look, it is difficult. This player is obviously looking to their role is to make sure that if anything does go, they need to change their angle and go. Again, if you did go bottom left or keeper's stick side, that ball's going past their left foot, which makes it a little bit difficult. Okay, so maybe the second runner would have to do a very good job. But more importantly, with the 3-1, your keeper is actually shifted over. Okay, and the space on this side of the goal is a lot less. Okay, so there's not a lot of space. So it would have to be a very good shot, possibly like really in the corner to go in. But let's give the benefit of the doubt to the goalkeeper that she's done a really good job and she saved it. Okay. Now, if we just quickly, we've got a couple more minutes left. If we had to have gone the other side, so with the 3-1, if we had gone to the right-hand side, what difference would we have made? Nadine, you said you wanted to go to the right. Where would you have this player here that now becomes the hitter? Where would you say she receives the ball from the top of the circle?
I would say right there is perfect, and then she would probably hit to the bottom right.
Okay, so we've gone across, all right, and she's going to be hitting bottom right. Okay, so from this area, she's looking to go across, sorry. She's looking to go across that way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good option. So now what you can see here is all of a sudden this player does have a little bit more time and a little bit more space. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what could also happen is, remember, what did we say this player was going to do? They were going to run in, okay? So if we are able to run, that player is able to run in at a good line, they could possibly get in front, just in front of the defender. Obviously, we are awesome and we dive for the deflection. Okay, so possibly getting in between the postman and the second wave, okay, or the second runner. And this player will now maybe get a little bit closer in case there is a save made, okay, that comes back in this direction. So this whole thing about looking at the short corners, we as a team, we need to be able to say, okay, we have got 5 short corners or 6 short corners that we use, okay, and we need to be able to make sure that the short corners are 100% every single time, because what factors can go wrong with this? If the injector doesn't push the ball to the top of the circle properly, this player now needs to move, and you can see how everything starts to shift. Okay, so if this player all of a sudden has to stop the ball over here because the push came out a bit skew, all right, that pass becomes a little bit shorter. But what happens is your first wave, instead of now running to the top of the circle, is running here and is closer to the slip. So they don't have to turn or change their angle a lot to get to that player. Okay, so the chances of it being run down are actually quite good. Obviously, if it's the other way, the player goes there. This runner now has a bit more time, and that pass becomes a lot further. So what Andrea and Ronald were suggesting is that maybe during this time, if you guys have the opportunity to practice together, or put a few of you get together on the field, that you actually practice a few of these short corners, so that when we get back to playing, we are we've got it exactly what we're doing. Everybody knows their roles. And then we can start looking at our short corners from a better angle and saying, well, we're not going to just try and hope that we score the short corner, or we rely on 1 or 2 people, but we look at it from a tactical point of view. Because who calls your short corners in the game, just out of interest? Do you guys come up with them, or does the coach tell you what short corners to run?
We usually, right before short corner, just huddle up and just discuss what we're going to do.
Okay, and on what are you basing those decisions on? So are you just saying, okay, well, I want to turn at having a shot at the top of the D, or we're going to pass it? Do you have a look at the defense?
Sometimes, but usually it's just we plan either a pass to somebody or a straight hit. We don't usually look at too much of where the defense is.
Okay, so now knowing this, okay, and hopefully with last week's webinar, would you look more at how the team is set up and how they run?
Yeah, I think we would look more now, because now I notice that there's different angles that are better. Instead of just planning like a straight hit or something, we don't know if it's better to plan it in the beginning to see what our best options are.
Okay, and also now here's a very good question. Who is actually watching the defenders in the situation? Because now you have a pusher, you have a stopper, you have a hitter, you've got the runners. Who's watching the players run out? Would it be one of these players? or perhaps another player somewhere else on the field? Sydney?
It'd probably be like one of the players behind the hitter in case they miss the ball.
Okay, so normally you have a player that is playing as a guard player or a backstop or something that is hanging around just behind. Their job should also be not only watching watching for the ball in case it's mistrapped, but also what this team is doing and how they're running. Because if they are able to see where the angles are and what they're running, she can come to you in the next short corner and say, hey guys, they were running a 3-1, the space is on the right hand side, or the 3-1, the space is on the left hand side. And would that help you guys, Nadine? Would that help to better choose which short corner to go with next?
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure if one of these players, obviously there's only a few of you here, but the next time you have a short corner in a game, what you should do is the player that is behind, you should go to them and say, hey, listen, when they're running out, I want you to watch and tell me how they run out. Because if you know, so if Nadine, if you are involved in the decision making, if you know, okay, they're running a 2-2, we know that, okay, there is either space on the sides to make the pass, or like we showed in that first one, okay, the 2-2, if they're running a 2-2 like this, okay, where the first runner comes out higher and the second one, that we can shift the castle slightly. So you know that, okay, they're running a 2-2, we just need to shift the castle slightly and go bottom left. And then we've got a better chance, and our percentage of scoring a goal becomes a lot higher. All right, and that's where the whole thing of a short corner and making sure that we understand the short corners, is really, really crucial. Yeah, so any questions, guys, so far or for now? Yes, no, maybe?
No.
No? Good, everything understood?
Yeah, I think we covered it all.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, so I think, yeah, we can call it there, guys. It's pretty much past. Yeah, I think that was very, very beneficial. Yeah, so if you do get any chance to get out there, guys, on the field in the next couple of weeks, do it. Go out there, practice your pushing and stopping. So I'm not sure if any of you guys are any of you the injectors.
I usually inject.
Sydney, okay, fantastic. So get out there. If you are alone, there's a very cool how to make sure you can practice on your own. All you do is you put your hockey bag or something that you can push the ball at. So get the ball, get a couple balls, go put the balls down on the injection spot and push them towards the hockey bag, and try and get it as accurate as possible and as quick as possible. Because you technically are in my opinion, the most important player in the short corner. Because if you don't do your job, unfortunately, the short corner can't happen. So definitely you need to get there. And then if you know of anyone that is a stopper, get them involved, try get them to stop the balls for you, because that's also very, very key. And then any specialist. So Nadine, do you shoot at goal? Are you a hitter, or what is your role normally?
Yeah, I usually hit, or I'm a pass or something.
Okay, so you can do the same thing. You can have a shot from the top of the circle. You can look again if you're working on the stop and the pass. You put a bag or something where the pass should go, and then what you should do is play the push, let the ball stop, and then try pass the ball at the bag every single time. Put 6 balls down, and out of 6 balls, you should hit that bag 5 times, because then you're accurate with your passing. And it's going to definitely then go to the player that you want it to go to. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it there. I hope you guys enjoyed that and learned a lot. And yeah, good luck with the next couple weeks. Hopefully you guys can get out onto the field soon. And yeah, start playing some hockey.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.